you know, it's been fun working on these important things like the trading hall, like the world tour map art, and everything else like that, but I think right now, I just need something that's chill. Something that I don't need to worry too much about, but something I can still have a fun time doing. And you know, kind of being on Cosmic is already check one for one thing, but another thing I'm thinking about is actually making some mini games. Or maybe at least one mini game today, because there's something I've been planning for maybe not a crazy amount of time, but long enough to the point where I think I have a pretty good idea as to what I want to do, because I want to make a marble run minigame, if you understand what anything like that is about. But just in case you don't, let's assume this fish, this firework, and this packed ice are all marbles. They go down a huge track trying to race each other to see who reaches the very end first, and that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing. But hopefully, because we're going to be using the items, sliding across ice and waterways and everything like that, it should be made just a little bit more interesting, if I'm honest. Then hopefully there's not like a predetermined first place every single time, because otherwise this entire game is kind of gonna flop. But well, we can hope. But something we also need to hope for is a good place on building it. And again, we have so much ocean all over the place. It's kind of hard to know exactly where to build. And, you know, we've been planning to do something with this island. Maybe like making it a base for our little team or something like that. And we just never did anything with this tiny island. And I think I am going to make a minigame here. Maybe build up some land and everything else like that, but at least as of right now, I'm going to build up a minigame. It's close to home, so I shouldn't have too much worrying about building things up and getting all the materials. And I'll be honest, I have like a rough idea as to what I want to do, but I don't have a full idea. This is going to be very much so like going with the flow and seeing where things take me today. What did I do? Like, I was just coming to get more stuff to build this up, and how did I do this? Like, how did I do this? What sort of predicament did I get myself into? My back is just so... my back is just so itchy that the chest will have to do to help scratch it. I don't know. Wait, I can't move. I legit can't move. What is going on here? Is it because of the chest? Is it because of... There we go. What? Okay. The more questions I have, the less answers I'm gonna get. Anyways, before for some reason I have another itchy back, this is gonna be the start of the run, where we're gonna have 4 different, I guess, marbles going down this lane, and I will be trying to time it as best I can to make it as fair as possible, and then it'll turn in on itself, and then go on one single strand of line. Also, we have mushrooms. Why, in the space of 30 seconds of this video, all sorts of who knows what's been happening. Hello there. How are you doing? You have some very big eyes. You know, if we were to build up a whole island for this minigame area, maybe mushrooms could be the mascot of it, or something like that. What say you, John? What say you? I don't hear anything against it. Yep, that's what I thought. Oh, congratulations, Mushroom, for existing, because now you are going to represent the minigame district on the potentially future Mushroom Island. Anyways, before I get distracted even further, once it's connected on one single lane, it's probably going to continue going down this one single lane for at least a little bit of time. And I am out of glass. Typically, I would just go to DJ's base, but I don't feel safe doing that right now, so we're gonna have to figure something else out. Every single time I try just building something, in the space of like a minute, just something else comes up that either distracts me or that just throws me off. But that's fine. We'll make the most of it. We'll make the most of it of being undistracted for as long as we can. It's probably easiest doing that in the form of a montage, and while I don't necessarily know exactly what I want to do for this entire Marlboro run thing, I do have like some baseline general ideas as to where I want to take it and how I want to go with it, but nothing too set in stone, so most of this is pretty much, again, like I said, on the fly. And I'll be honest, it is really hard to know where I want to go with this and things like that without having the glass. Like, I can't build this up and I can't test it to make sure it works without having some form of way in actually holding it, but we can try and just see where things go, and that's up about it before we make a mess. And yeah, what I'm planning right now, just having it loop itself around, go back up here, and have it go up a waterway, and potentially, in the case it falls off, go back down, come back up, and then do the whole thing again, if that makes any sense. But again, I can't do this. I can't do this without any glass, and I can't get more glass without potentially starting a war at DJ's base or something like that with his villagers. So there's got to be another way on getting glass. I guess I could go to a desert and collect a bunch of sand. But I don't know, even with that, that's still just an extra process. So actually, doesn't Lydia and Effie have villagers? Yeah, they do. They do. Like I've been to their base before too. But all right, yep, this is the base, and people banned for. How did they? Is someone blackmailing me? Are these villagers literally, like, just blackmailing me or something like that? Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Did I just get on villagers' bad side or something like that? You know what? No. Again, I cannot be pushed around and punched around by a bunch of Oh, jeez. That's a lot of skeletons. That's a few more I'd like to deal with. What is going on here? Who have these villagers hired, and how are they managing this? How are they doing this? Okay, fine. To the desert we go, I guess. Fine, we'll do it the manual way if we have to. Actually, there's nothing against going to a wandering trader. I'm not seeing any slingshots or any catapults. You don't even have any sand. Even when I attempt to give you a chance, you don't even give me what I want. But fine, we'll go to the desert. Every time I come back here, it just seems more and more empty, even though, like, I don't think anything's changed since I've seen it last. Or maybe some things have changed, being there's, like, no sand left whatsoever. Do you see why I was going the villager route? You could probably see why now. Alright, then we'll just pick up what trickles of sand are left around the place, and hopefully this will do. Why I don't have a super smelter at this point is a question I don't really have an answer for, but I guess we are gonna have to deal with the consequences of that by probably AFKing for at least a little bit now. Alright, now I can actually show you what I was talking about. And that's this first section, and yeah, it just looks like a bunch of waterways, and that's because it's supposed to, but yeah, as we can see, obviously, fish is gonna go down there, gonna spew around there. Many of these blocks or marbles or whatever is gonna be racing around this one area, going all the way down here, eventually until we reach the waterway where if you're lucky, you can actually go all the way up. If you're not lucky, you fall all the way down. You weren't supposed to fall on a glass block, but you kind of get the idea. In the case they are these marble things or whatever they're going to be is lucky enough, then it should be able to make its way to the very top. In the case it's not, then don't worry. It's not the end of the world, because in the case it does miss, and what we can see here is it'll go up a bit, then fall down, and then it'll go down a little waterway underneath, coming back up here, and then being able to try it again. My only concern is that this might be impossible. I'm just a little bit worried that it just might be a bit, impossible. It looks like that. So maybe we should do something about that. Only thing is, if we have a block here, then things will completely break down, but actually, I have an idea. Because now, if we have a little system thing like that, and we have just a little bit of extra water to help it go all the way up, then hopefully now, this should be enough to actually get it all the way up there. Let's just see. Let's just double check, make sure. Oh, okay, that might help. That might not be enough on just one, but if we add just a few more bits of water, then that might be enough to help it out. Okay, hopefully this will be enough. Let's try it out. So it's gonna go up. Where did it go? Did it go back down? It probably went back down. It went back down. And here I thought racing on the marble run was going to be the hardest thing, but just making it work is apparently going to be it. Okay, it looks like it'll just about make it out, but it just barely fails when it just runs out of the water, which is fine, but I want this to be more of a 50-50 race as to whether or not you'd make it up or not. So maybe we could lower this, and then we can move on to the next bit. And I think from here, there's just going to be a lot of repetition, like trying to figure out what works, what doesn't, rebuilding things, breaking things over and 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 over. Yeah, a long time. A very, very long time. I got some ideas. I know kind of what I want to do. It's just a matter of doing it without making it feel like we're just doing the same thing over and over again. It's actually, I might just jump ahead to when this is mostly done and actually show you what my mindset is. Probably not the best of ideas, but we'll roll with it. But man, it probably would have gone so boring if seeing me complain over and over again about how hard it was to figure out the exact layout for this entire thing. It doesn't look complicated. But let me say that it really, really is. And what better way to actually demonstrate how complicated and difficult it was by actually doing a bit of a run. And I have 4 different types of wool colors we can see right here. And remember the order, we're going to put it in here because by the time they finish it, they're going to end up right here in this barrel. And whichever one ends up in the first slot is actually first place. And then it goes on and on to second, third, and fourth. But all right, let's push this. And let's see how all of them go. Then they're going down straight along this one path we can see right here. Going around what we built right here. Around a few of the little new things we actually built right here. Up to that one waterway we built up right there. We got to move up here so we could actually see it. We're going to go down here. Make a little bit of a jump. Go across there. Into this little zigzag area I built right here. And yeah, I probably could have made this longer, but I think for right now it can work. But yeah, we see a couple get stuck, taking their time to get out. We see green has taken the lead. Green has indeed taken the lead, taking a bit of a bounce, going up and around. Green is making its way around, but the rest aren't too far behind, going all the way down there, looping itself back around, up this one waterway, right at the very end, until green makes it to number 1. That is how the race goes. I don't know how well I was able to show that, but that's pretty much how I built this up. And honestly, it's so simple, the concept, and it's probably so easy to expand it in some way, but at least as of right now, this is actually kind of fun watching it go. Kind of fun watching it just like loop around. Something that's just pretty monotonous, just seeing it like actually racing itself. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but hopefully soon we should have a little bit more than just one minigame, and a little bit more than just a minigame in the middle of the ocean. But yeah, let me think of this game down below. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.